example here. Two brand new houses go up, side by side, same size lot, same square footage house, same floor plan, same everything. Except one of the owners decides to put in super low E windows and one of those hot water on demand tanks instead of the other. Puts in foam insulation in the walls. Puts in R45, puts in attic fans and that. He's going to wind up paying more for being energy efficient.
For changes, yeah.
That is so illogical. The whole system is backwards. We are discouraging people from doing the right thing.
Well, that's where the New York State cap tax, people were trying to get the word out, but certain media organizations, unnamed like Buffalo News, wouldn't put it out there, is any capital improvement on your house permits all facilities to breach, for your case, the person that does a capital appropriation, that tax cap can be broken for that household. Because any capital improvement on your house allows them to then exceed the 2%. So that's something to be aware of.
But I think
that'll help.
that's another issue besides, you know, we put in a pool in the backyard instead of taking vacations in Florida. We're discouraging people from hiring contractors here. But I think two houses that are getting the exact same services from the town, one guy is paying more because he is helping the environment. I mean, this is bizarre in the extreme. I know you can't do anything about that, but pass
Actually,
it
that
on.
particular problem I haven't come across yet. On the new builds, most often I have them assessed before the sale price comes in, and that's fun for me, because then I can look at it and see if did I do this right.
But my example stands
Oh, I
on its
agree
own.
with you. I absolutely agree with you.
We are discouraging people from doing the right thing.
Yes.
It reminds me of a story. I have a friend, Kelly, who took a trip to Europe, and she visited this beautiful little village. And she said the landscaping was gorgeous. They were little tiny cottages, but the fences were all beautiful. The shutters were all freshly painted. And she asked the little old man in the village, "How is it you all keep your property so nice?" And he said, "Because our town council, when we make improvements on our property, our town council gives us a tax credit." I would love to see Grand Island.
Yeah. You're onto something there, yes.
Of course.
You gotta be
A benefit
careful
for
where
keeping your property up. That's
We're not in
nice.
democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another question, just for the record. So,
What we think we should.
every single house, without exception on the island, unless of course, like, if something's just got sold yesterday, are you gonna be reassessing that even?
The contractor will do every property, yes.
Every property regardless of, every single 100% of the houses?
And commercials.
Got it.
It'll all be done.
Even the new builds, I think something that's just been built in the last 2 years,
They're gonna look at every neighborhood. That's how you do it fairly. It doesn't mean they're gonna change them,
They can.
the new builds. Those are gonna be the ones that are brought closest in line.
so then can you protest?
You sure can. You can protest as often as you want. You can come to my office, you start there, see what I have to say, whether I give you relief or not. If you don't like it, if you don't think I've given you enough relief, then you can go to the board's assessment review. And then if you don't like what they have to say, then you have the opportunity to go to the SCAR hearing. So you've got a year's worth of
Just
projects
slow down and wait
to
till it's
look
done.
at.
and then-
Yes, sir.
Is the reassessment based just upon the exterior of your building, or do they come inside?
I believe they will be doing square footage on the outside, where they're not, we don't, it's,
So
I
they have
hope
no
you
idea
all
what it
have
looks like
granite.
on the
I
inside?
hope you all have hardwood and ceramic tile. I'm not going in it. It's outside perimeter, square footage. Yes.
When I purchased my house, it was zoned residential.
Okay.
And they changed the zoning to central business district.
Okay.
How does that affect that?
As far as I know, it's not going to.
But now, instead of a home next.
If you want to make that argument to me, you're very welcome. But I'm not going to look at it just based on that the town board changed zoning laws. Because the property's still going to have value.
Those letters that everybody got a few months ago about what do you have in the house?
That was the
What
beginning.
that?
We're trying to update our inventory so that when the contractor gets here, whomever it may be, they've got the cleanest data that they can work with. So that they've got, so little stuff we've taken care of.
So it's actually to the homeowner's detriment if they said, oh yeah, I've done this and I've added that and I've got another.
Well, hopefully the
bathroom."
homeowner got a permit to get those things done.
Yeah.
And if there was, improvements aren't always reassessed. If you add square footage, then you're going to get an additional assessment. If you add a pool, you would get an additional assessment. If you're doing foundation work, that's not going to change your assessment. But you still need a permit for it. You know, if you add a deck, if you add anything physical, we're gonna take a look at it. But the dollars that we add, it's not a lot. If you do a deck, I think it's something like $4 a square foot.
Well, I can't remember all the questions asked, but it wasn't all about square footage. It
No,
was
it's not what you
about
get inside your house too.
inside your house,
Right. If you got a permit for that bond, yes, it was reviewed at that time.
So it will not be increasing my property value now.
When they do the reval, is that the question? When, are you talking about when they do the reval? Your property's going to be looked at as a whole.
Everybody, one conversation, please, sorry.
And compared to other properties like yours. The market is what's going to tell the contractor where to put the value. They don't just pick a number out of the air.
Sherry, I kind of tried to ask for more definition. So why do you think it could affect property values?
Because taxes go up, people can afford less, for one. I
Right.
mean, it's just a lot of reasons.
I mean, you're
It's just-
viewing
it's not-
this
I
as-
would love to see, I'd love to see it, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how this revale could occur without affecting the current market conditions negatively, and I just can't see that it won't. It'll end up creating our real estate market conditions on a negative.
Well, in the handout, we've got a list of towns that have recently gone to 100% value. And I'm not finding out at our assessors meeting, nobody's saying that the property value has gone down.
The biggest hit will be the waterfront on the island, we know that, okay? It concerns me about the people that have lived on that waterfront for years and years, and they're going to see a huge, they won't be able to afford to live there anymore. They'll go out and put their house up for sale for what the assessor thinks it's worth, then we won't be able to sell it for that. I wish that it could be done maybe in a, I don't know, in like
It's
a
not
four-year
allowed.
plan.
It's not
Something
allowed
that
that
it could be gradual for these people. I'm worried that, and I just think that it will definitely have a negative effect on the real estate market. And we have a hard enough time selling homes on Grand Island because we have these two bridges on each side.
Sure, who's asking for this reassessment? Is it the town or is it the state? Is it,
Well, the state would like every town to always be at 100%, period.
right, but who's really requesting this right now?
School board.
The state is on us, and they have been since in the almost 10 years that I've been there. The state
So you
is
just
always
are
wanting
taking
us at
time yourself
100%.
now to do
But
this.
what drove you to do it now? Is it in any way related to the 2% tax cap that goes into
No,
effect?
no, because this truly has been talked about and being pushed for in all the time that I've worked at the town. A big sticking point for the town council, I don't want to speak for them, but I know the school was really not, they were a little, not reluctant, is that the word? In order for this to work, the school, everybody's got to keep their spending down. They've got to find ways to keep their spending down. I know,
Yeah, right.
I know.
So Judy, you may know the answer to this. So in terms of, so in May, that's when the town, or the school budget will be passed. So you're saying this could be a bonanza for the school,
No.
basically?
I believe the school is going to do the right thing. I think they're, I just do. I just think they are. And as far as, Sherry, I know you think it's a redistribution. It's a redistribution of a tax burden that's out there.
So just on that, now you're saying the levy, so if the levy remained constant and the house values went up 20%, I mean, if they're doing the right thing, they would reduce that levy by 20%. That would be the right thing, but now the question I have, and I don't know the answer to this, I think we need to get it, is in terms of the new Cuomo tax cap, if that is a 20% increase, that would reach that wouldn't reach the cap necessarily, would it?
My understanding is that tax cap is what municipalities were allowed to attach to their current levy for the upcoming year. That tax cap is not going to have anything to do with this reassessment. Does that make sense? Two different things. The budget's going to be decided first, then we go and do the reval. Now, the tax cap doesn't mean that the house can only go increase in value by 2%. That the governor's budget has to do with the town council, not with the levy. Does that make sense? Yes.
You mentioned that the state is encouraging municipalities to go to this.
100% and maintain
Is
it.
it mandatory?
Is it mandatory? No. If it was, it would have been a law. The town council wouldn't have had to
If it's not mandatory, why are we doing it?
in the interest of equity, in fairness to every homeowner. In fairness. Yes.
Is the state putting some less in this?
No, but here's what, the state's, before all this worked out, the state would pay us $9 per parcel to do the reval, pay us back for doing the reval, to keep everything equal. Now it's down to $5.
Better do it quick.
I know. And then they had $2 per parcel per year for the down years, and now they took that away. So it's the $5 per parcel for our first project is our understanding of what the return is, yes.
Is the math this simple? If your house is assessed right now at 100,000, at $59, is it, and it goes up to 200, would be at $28, would that be the math? Is it that simple?
It's basically that simple. Yeah, for using today's dollars. So you're saying that the 200 is your full value, is your market value?
Everyone say it's 200, then it's 200 times 28 versus the current 100
Yes,
times.
that's, you're gonna get really close with that math.
So it's more than $300.
Well, in my neighborhood. Yes, you live better than I do.
2 houses.
Okay,
I own one house, I built 40 years ago. I haven't done any improvements. House next door, same age, new owners, they come in, tear everything out, put all new stuff in there. Now, this realtor comes along and says, oh, this house is worth about $150,000 because of all the new equipment. Is my house gonna be worth $150,000? No. But I would still be assessed at the same rate he is.
but it doesn't mean you're gonna have exactly the same assessed value.
He could have a swimming pool built inside.
That's gonna add to his assessment.
You're saying that
Are
the
you gonna,
person,
no, you said they're not gonna come into the house.
yeah, you're saying the
I'm not
person,
expecting them to, no.
Well, how can they make it a true adjustment? They don't come to my house and they don't see everything updated. This guy updated everything, put a pool in his indoor pool and all that.